Recently, Ariffin Sha, the founder of Wake Up Singapore and a member of the SDP, came out to say the voting age should be lowered to 18. So he gave a couple of reasons. Later I'll share the reasons. But I feel that he's hiding something. So before we see what he says, let's see what the WP says about this, because they have been talking about lowering the voting age for a couple of years.
Enfranchising younger Singaporeans will empower them to meaningfully participate in public life.
Okay, so that's one.
I call for the lowering of the voting age from 21 to 18 years to empower younger Singaporeans to have a say at our national elections.
Okay, so their main message is to empower youths. What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, when you're 18, right, you don't even know which course you want to take in poly. You want to decide this.
And the thing is, if anybody for sure is the opposition that will come out with this, when you're younger, you care less about the fact, but you're more emotional, you're more about what is the front. And WP, SDP, for a fact, they will call for 18 because they are a fucking popular.
Stressful.
To me, I feel quite indifferent. I feel 18, 21, no difference.
Okay.
I feel it's different because you see, like these 3 years, right, usually people will go to uni. So when you are in uni, right, the things that you go through, the studies and everything, right, it actually builds a deeper thinking, you know.
The ideas that you talk about are
it's
more
way bigger, deeper.
profound.
You are able to think better, actually.
Okay, that is definitely true. So maybe let's explore this idea. Do you all think you need to be able to think better, you must be smarter in order to be a better voter?
Honestly,
Better voter.
I think yes. I think yes.
100%.
The votes directly translate to the future of the country. If you don't know anything about what are the policies, where is this party is going to bring this country to and stuff like that, I feel you shouldn't have that power. And especially 18. Yeah.
I feel, right, in order to make a decision, right, your comprehension skills must be there. Because, right, first of all, you must be able to listen to what each party says first. Then you comprehend. Then after that, you use the previous or the last time, how their history, like how they used to do certain things and stuff, right, to back up your decision making and stuff. So you need an extensive ability to think, therefore you can decide. Yeah. So,
Okay.
I think voting, right, should be how happy you are with the government already. Like with the current government, if you're happy, then you vote for the current government. If you're not happy with something, then you vote for the other opposition. That should be how you vote.
but I tell you, right,
There shouldn't be any like, thinking.
100 things people do, right? One thing that they don't do as good, people say bad things about it already. That's why I don't think happy can make decision, just not happy can make decision. I feel there's more layer towards it.
Okay, so cause I don't talk about national level, right? All I need to care about, right, is my GRC. Is where I'm staying, my neighborhood, am I being taken care of or not? If the person don't even come to my door, never come to or any funeral or whatever, right? Or like there's no activity among my neighborhood, right? Why would I vote for you? Yeah, that should be at the minimum, right?
The ground level.
Yeah.
I feel like actually, right, a lot of people, they just think of the ground level work, right? But they don't see what the work that they do behind the scene that actually makes Singapore so great.
Okay, the general sense of people, right, is Singapore is doing well in the national sense or in the global scale. So all you need to care about, right, is your GRC, right? Whether am I okay or not? All my day-to-day life, whether I'm
Okay, so they paint a bit more times your HDB law.
yeah, with the shelter all the way, all these matters, right? And it doesn't need minister to do that job.
I think definitely a lot of people feel this way also. Now I'm going to share with you all what Ariffin Sha said. Okay? So he posted on Facebook and Instagram.
You can Chinese.
No, this one is some, I think she does TikTok and stuff lah. So the main part that I want to zone in on is, if you're deemed old enough to get married, serve the nation and hold a rifle, why aren't you old enough to have a say in the future of our nation? Okay, so that is the crux of his message. What do you all think about this?
Like I say, I feel indifferent. 18, 21, no difference. What do you special put 19?
Compromise. I feel, since he brought up the rifle idea and stuff, right? He himself has definitely served the army. I feel as guys, right, if you compare yourself when you first join army and after whatever hardship you go through and the obstacles that you go through and whatever you learn in, a lot of people will agree that there is a difference in level of thinking, level of understanding, and the level of maturity. If that is the case, then there is a difference between 18 and 21.
So it boils down to your cognitive maturity, in a sense. Okay, so that is actually an argument that a lot of people hold when they say you need to maybe retain the voting age or maybe even raise the voting age. So I'm going to share with you all what some people on the streets have shared. This Asia one, they went on the streets for some streets I interviewed. These are what some Singaporeans shared.
No, easier one.
I don't think we should lower the voting age. I think 21 and above is the right age, I believe.
No, 21 is just fine. Perfect, yeah.
I honestly don't care.
I don't think it really matters.
I don't think it matters.
I think they should increase. Maybe 25. You're more mature and you understand the politics better.
I think it can be lowered to like 18 because there's a lot of laws that also allow people to do like a lot more things when they turn 18.
I feel like, yeah, because I feel like you're still developing at that period.
At 18, I don't think I was mature enough to form a sort of opinion on this sort of thing, but not to say that there aren't people out there who have the mental maturity. I just say majority don't.
I think nowadays the generation, they don't really talk about this. I think they are tired of it already.
I think the youth are they are concerned about politics, but I don't hear much about local politics.
Yeah, it's mostly like external politics regarding nowadays America and all that whatnot. Yeah.
Honestly, when I was 18 years old, I was like, why didn't they lower it? But now I'm at 26. I think when you turn 25, the prefrontal lobe complex is developed, and I agree that it should be a bit higher.
Right now I'm 26, but when I was 21, so who am I supposed to vote for? I don't really know, and everyone is like, oh, vote for this, but you don't really actually know.
So I don't think at 18 I would have the mental maturity or like understanding of the political situation of our country to make a like wise choice on my vote with my vote.
Okay, what are your thoughts about this?
I feel the ones who say 21 or even higher, it can be they are a bit more older.
Yes.
And like what they have explained is exactly it. Because when they are young, they really don't care much things. And they just say whatever, okay I will just do that.
Yeah, I think that's the interesting part about this video. The people who initially thought maybe 18 might be good, later on as they mature, they realize maybe we can retain at 21 or maybe even raise it. The reason why I'm sharing all this is because I feel what was shared during the street interview shares the real reason why the opposition want to lower the voting age. You guys recall the guy saying a lot of the youths, they are influenced by external politics, US politics and whatnot. And because of this, they will want to vote to show their expressions on Singapore politics also. I align myself with that, I'm going to express myself here. And when that happens, what the effect will be at the polls is now your 46%, 48% all is going to skew this way. Which means our Chee Soon Juan, who almost got in, now
we'll
he'll
get
be
in. Yeah.
So I think that's the real reason. And then all these other reasons they're giving is all smokescreen.
Yep.
So initially my thought was, I disagree with this. I disagree with lowering the voting age. You say it's empowering. Why not empower the 16-year-olds? Now they are taking on EXCO membership roles in CCA. Sec 4, they take on these kind of roles. Empower these people also. Right? Why only empower 18-year-olds? Ariffin say, oh, you can get married. Yeah, okay, you get married now is a personal decision between two parties. But your vote is a communal decision where it affects maybe 6 million people also. He say, you can hold a rifle. What about all those militant groups? They recruit the kids. The kids also hold rifle. Then you want to trust your decision on these kids?
Exactly.
I think it's a bit silly lah.
Yeah. And I mean, think about it. A married couple that is like, say 22, give it, compared to a 32 couple who has a better depth of maturity. Like, you see, when we were 22, right? I bet if, let's say, we have a house or anything, right? Our decision making and our thought process will be totally different from current state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, he's using 18 as like the age where you are legally allowed to get married, right? I went to look at the stats. The median age of first marriage for the grooms is 30 and 29 for the ladies. Which means while you are legally okay to get married, most people get married at this age.
Because it's optimal.
Yes, yeah. Older, you can make a wiser choice.
And this guy very smart. He take all the things that don't really require collective maturity, right? He uses the age and then he says, you can do this, then why can't you?
You know, it's like when we do selective hearing, he does like selective selecting.
Okay, but with all this said, right, I think the voting age should be lowered to 18.
And why is that?
I did this study on Plato's Republic. In that entire thing, Plato explains how a nation should be run. And the idea is there are 3 strata. The top level is by the group of philosopher kings. So in his view, philosopher kings are the people who are reasonable, are smart and all. And they can make good decisions. So because they can make these good decisions, put them at the executive level.
Yes, strata uno.
So under that you have the spirit people, and then after that you have the warrior people or the soul people,
talents
and the talents and all, the people who do the work lah, the Josephs of the society.
Okay.
And he feels maybe this is not your strong suit. Don't make these kind of executive decisions for the nation. The problem with the entire system of thought, right, is whenever you get political power, you reserve it for a select group of people.
Only selected group of people benefits.
That's true. A select group of people will benefit, and they will abuse it, they will dominate the system, and everything goes into chaos. Every time this happens, it always ends badly. And so, while maybe having some kind of dictator may be a decent form of governance, if the dictator is very, very good, he's a benevolent guy, he knows how to do his stuff and everything, maybe it's good. But if he's not, and in most cases, you can't find this kind of people, it will just skew towards dictatorship. You'll skew towards a very chaotic and unfair situation. So democracy is not the ideal way of governing. Why? Because a lot of times you will not elect the best guy for the job. You'll elect the popular people, but not the best people for the job. But it is the fairest system. And in this fair system, actually what Joseph said is true. You don't need to care so much. As long as you're a stakeholder, you're a legal stakeholder, you should be given the right to vote.
But then what about at 18 years old, right? Let's say you're a poly student, right? You're in year 2.
Yep.
The only thing that you care about, right, is go out with friends or just do work, all this.
Their decisions may not actually put the best people in office. That one we have to accept.
Right.
And this is the shortfall of democracy. But if you want democracy to be upheld, you must give every legal stakeholder the chance to vote.
So the legal stakeholder is 21 and above lah.
But in our situation, it is hard to give a reason why 18-year-olds shouldn't.
It's not a legal stakeholder.
Because they may not be very smart.
They're not
dumb.
also,
Exactly. They are not dumb. And there are a lot of older people who are equally dumb or even dumber also. So it is this very arbitrary line of maturity that we need to really give an explanation on. If you cannot give an explanation on it, and there isn't because it's really arbitrary, then we have to do away with it. Which means the fairer system is reduce the voting age to 18.
The true democracy.
That is the only way to uphold democracy. That's the foundation of democracy. So let me ask you guys this. Now that you all know this, right? Do you all feel that at 18, you all would have made a good decision?
Nope.
What do you mean? I'm voting for the incumbent my whole life. For my whole life. That will be the best decision. At 18, I already know already. I think at secondary school, when I studied social study and study history, PAP bro, all the way. So I believe I'll make the best decision.
I won't only PAP also because my mom, my parents, a lot of times the influence will be parents. family. So
Yes.
same or whatever they vote.
Your
they vote.
tribe.
Yeah.
But it works different for me.
Parents very pro opposition. Super pro PAP.